Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you for your time. My name is Elizabeth Simpson. I've lived in Urbana since 2001. I've been a professional facilitator and consultant for governmental and non-governmental groups since 1999, including doing community-wide sessions after the murder of Q1 Carrington, prior to the hiring of Chief Cobb, and other community initiatives. I have a master's in communication. I've been doing PhD research on effective small group practices with an emphasis on anti-oppression topics for the last 5 years. And I say that because I'm about to give you an evaluation of my experience of the listening session with the community that Hillard Heintze did. And I want you to know that I have the credentials to make this assessment. The session was initiated in relation to police misconduct and use of force, which means that these sessions could lead to the presence or absence of changes that would result in citizens getting hurt or killed or not. So if this undertaking is done to actually have some meaningful outcomes, it matters whether it's well done or not. And it also costs a lot of money. So again, in terms of efficiency, it matters whether it is well done or not. So as a professional facilitator of 20 years and as a researcher for the last 7 years, I can say with absolute confidence that the claim on the opening page of the Lewis report that the information was collected with investigative diligence is absolutely absurd. The data gathering and listening session was so poorly designed that I cannot believe this is a national firm currently doing police review work in over 10 cities, unless the purpose is simply to do a display of fanfare with no intention to make meaningful change. I did only participate in a listening session, so I can't speak to the complete range of the work that was undertaken. However, it was so poor that I really have strong concerns about the veracity of the rest of the findings. The report says that there was a 15 to 20-minute presentation. That is not true. It was an hour presentation out of a 90-minute session, which means that the group who got together was only used for maybe 20 minutes. After that hour of presentation, we had 20 minutes in a small group. The report says we were given a questionnaire. We were not. We were emailed a questionnaire in advance. We were not told we would have to somehow have access to it at the time. That questionnaire was in a PDF form. It was unfillable. We were told that we needed to somehow collect everybody's responses, numeric responses, collate them ourselves, create the average ourselves, and then report that out to the group, which is absurd. Then after doing that, we only had 6 minutes left to answer our 7 open-ended questions. And as I'm sure you know, if you have a group of 5 people with 6 minutes answering 7 questions, you get basically no answers. But even if we had answers, there was no representative from the group to take any notes from the consulting group. And so people just kind of talked. And when we were supposed to report out, the person who reports just sort of says what's on their mind. So in terms of actually trying to make an assessment of community perspectives, it was a total failure. So just to clarify again, an hour of presentation, giving us the quantitative work. We could have got that quantitative stuff done with a survey. I could have done this report myself, this aspect of it, just far more effectively. And what this means is that if you're just getting reports out of whoever's speaking, you're going to get their perspectives instead of a sort of research-based outcome of what is actually the wisdom in the room. So in the future, if you want something more effective, you could hire me. But also, you could just listen to the community because we have been speaking since April. And as someone recently said just now in input, we have already told you over and over again the results, research-based, et cetera. I mean, we have a huge panel of expertise in our community and we keep giving you our labor for free. We didn't need a review to know what the community has been demanding, which is to deprioritize police funding, prioritize actual community safety through non-police responses to disputes, mental health, and neighborhood concerns. And finally, that the results and the findings that the use of force in the case of Ms. Lewis is consistent with UPD policy, and I'm quoting from the report here, that the finding was the use of force in the case of Ms. Lewis is consistent with UPD policy. This is just a fact. It's not relief. It is a confirmation that UPD policies are not in alignment with the needs of community, and they indicate a pretty much sure thing that there will be future harm in our community to our community members. And for those of us who have been watching consistently City Council now for almost 6 months, we know that it is your role. We know you have a role. We've been waiting for you to speak out about this, to take a stance about this, and it has not happened. And and I personally will continue to hold you responsible for your role in leadership. At the same time, as I always close with you, I know you're doing a lot of work. I know you're trying, and especially as a white person in these times, we have to throw down harder and not just have this sort of report thing, because we've already known what to do. We've been telling you what to do for 6 months. It's not that you need more information. What we need you to do and what you need to do is to take action. And I look forward to that. Thank you.